Hi developers, welcome to my channel, Joyman vs Code. Today's video is about before you automate. It sounds like before you automate, we should look at something. Yes, there is an economical factor before we automate anything. As a developer, we have a tendency that start coding anything. We normally deal with a lot of tasks in our day-to-day life. Without thinking, we normally jump into coding. Sometimes it takes more time than doing it manually. Let us start. What is automating through code? Wikipedia says automation is a technology by which a process or procedure is performed with minimal human assistance. That is clear from the statement. We are making machines to do our job with minimal or mostly no human assistance. I'm not going to talk about the projects we are going to do for the clients. If there is a client who is manually accounting or manually keeping his shop, we must do the automation. We should create a software for them so that they can get their things done very quickly and they can modernize with the world. I'm not going to talk about that kind of projects. I'm going to talk about automating our task. Automate your task before you automate for others. I don't know anybody told that quote before, but that is a quote I use always. There's a but to that statement. What is that but? What we should consider before automating our own task. So one factor is automation is not free. Even if we write our own PowerShell script or a shell script, sometimes it may require more time than doing the real job. Every automation includes debugging and some kind of maintenance. As you know in previous videos, debugging is really hard. It takes twice the intelligence as coding the task. Sometimes the judgment is very difficult in coding. That will be very easy when we do manually. We can get around by applying some probability techniques, but still it is very difficult. If there are many permutations and combinations in the scenario, it will be difficult to automate. We may be spending a lot of time writing if-else loop or configuring the conditions than doing the real job. Another thing is the threading. When we automate our job and we see that is not performing better, there's a tendency that we apply threading. To most of the developers, threading is still a black magic, and they end up problems in threading, state maintenance. Finally, they may spend more time to debug their code, which they can easily do manually. So we are more talking about the return of investment. If we spend time on automating our own task, how much benefit we are going to get from that? Human labor is error prone. It requires another human to do the verification. Human labor depends upon the mood of the person, how much distractions he is getting, state of the mind or the situation. But if you automate, there's no chance of human errors. If the routine is correct, it will work. So one thing I would like to clear is the accuracy of the work cannot be compared against the return of investment. That's the main point. This is just an indication of how much return we will be getting by automating our job. Still, I recommend doing automation because it involves less errors than the human labor. Let us see a table which shows when it will be economical to automate. This is a website where they add a lot of programming cartoons and all. I don't know whether this is a cartoon. This is a real useful information. This table shows how much time we should spend on automating a job. This is calculated across 5 years. Let us take one example, then it will be easy to understand this table. So we are taking the first one. So you have one task you have to do every day 50 times, and the task takes 1 second. If you want to do that for 5 years, it is not economical to spend more than 1 day to automate this 1 second job. That's how it reads. I don't think there will be any task which need only 1 second. Let us take one example of 5 minutes task. The task takes 5 minutes. You have to do that task 5 times a day, and you have to do that for 5 years. 5 minutes task 5 times per day you have to do for 5 years. That task you can spend 4 weeks. If you spend more than 4 weeks automating it, it is not worth the time. You could have done that manually with less than the time you are spending on the automation. Hope this is easily understandable. I'll be sharing this link in the description. Take a printout and paste in your cubicles. This is somebody else, I am just explaining it. My contribution is different. The problem with this chart is this is built for only 5 years. Getting a 5-year project is like a lottery. We normally work for 1-year project or 2-year project. How do you calculate the feasibility on a 1-year project? So I just created another Excel for different scenarios. When I tried to create this chart, I thought of doing it as a program, but then later I understood that I don't need to do this every other day or every other minute. It is a one-time job. So why should I spend my time coding this entire diagrams and making it configurable for different years, different durations? So I apply this principle here. So it is a one-time creation. I just understood how they created their chart and I just replicated it into different durations. So here you can see 5 years I took from there itself. Then I created 1 year, 6 months, and 1 month. This is just a random selection of different durations. I am here missing 2-year duration, but you can easily create that. I'll be sharing the link to the Excel sheet in the description. I hope this is self-explanatory. It is same as the previous explanation what I have given on the 5-year table. If you take this example, there is one task which take 1 minute and it repeats 5 times per day and you have to do it for 1 year. Then anytime you are spending more than a day on that task to automate would be less efficient because you can do that manually within that time. Another thing you to notice is like what it means different time periods. A week means it is 7 days, month means 30 days, a day considered as 24 hours, so you can do the adjustment. Once again, accuracy matters. Better do the automation so that you get the things in the correct way. Doing it manually and checking that, and there are chances of missing something which will eventually lose a lot of time later. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, suggestions, please add into the comment box. If you like more videos like this, you can subscribe to the channel. Also enable the bell button for notifications. Bye. Happy coding.